Welcome back to another episode of Development Tours by myself, Kaz, from Property by Kazzy. Now today I'm joined by Sonny from Imperial Construction Services or Imperial Developers. Now we are at a site today which is absolutely fantastic. It has commercial on the ground floor, the world-renowned Crept and Cones. Above that there's 8 flats, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the 2 bonus flats, ghost flats, or believe it or not, free flats, free 2 luxury apartments that they're gonna have in the loft space. Now to find out how they got these flats for free, make sure you watch to the end of the video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and if you're enjoying this, give us a like, and if you want to see something different, let us know in the comments. But without further ado, let's go and see the site. So after that little climb, we have made it upstairs to the 3rd floor. But before we go inside and talk about the development itself and where we've currently got to, what we're gonna do is actually talk about where we are. So we are right now in Croydon, and not just Croydon, but South Croydon. Now, if you look behind me, what you'll see is towers upon towers and cranes upon cranes, because Croydon has gone through a massive redevelopment process. They've also had a really positive planning policy when it comes to developments and creating housing in the local area. We were just talking about one of the biggest projects that's about to start in Croydon. What's it called again?
Number 1 Wellesley Road.
And what sort of things are they doing there?
So essentially they're building 2 towers. I think it's going to supersede the height of any existing towers built in Croydon thus far. They're also talking about incorporating a sky park as well. So again, breaking barriers to developments.
Because I think you undersold it there. You said one of the tallest towers in Croydon. But it's going to be one of the tallest towers in Europe, right?
In Europe, yes. So, my apologies, yeah.
And that's the thing, it's when you see this level of development going on in an area, even for what you would call smaller scale developers like ourselves, it's a really good sign for a few reasons. The fact that these big players, they spend a massive amount of money on working out where to invest next. So you can sometimes quote unquote follow the money. Yeah. You follow the infrastructure and it's going to have a trickle down effect on your values.
Yeah, look, it's reassuring for us as developers when you've got these bigger developers coming in and they're breaking boundaries with these resale prices. Obviously it's confidence for us.
No, of course. So let's go and see your project and see where we are thus far.
Follow me. So we're now in the hallway of flat number 9. As you can see, you've got one of the bedrooms over here to the left, which is the master bedroom. This benefits from a 3-pane bifold door, which leads out onto the balcony. As we move over, we go into bedroom number 2. Nice big airy windows, which again look out onto the wraparound balcony. So behind me, you can see the family bathroom. This has a nice big skylight, which incorporates a lot of natural daylight flooding into that space over there. As we continue through the property, we then end up in the kitchen, living and dining area. Behind me, you'll have the kitchen area with a nice big roof light above. That'll let in loads of natural light again. And then the front side looks onto the main road with another bifold door which connects to the main balcony.
Now, I really like the design of this. I think it's been well thought through. I think it is your quintessential penthouse with the wraparound balcony. So despite being at the top, it's still going to have the outside space. And with the skylights, loads of natural light. So it's going to be bright and airy. And I can't wait to come back and see it finished.
Thank you, my man. So this is flat number 10, final flat of the build. Again, very similar to flat number 9, 2-bed, high-end luxury flat. Layouts exactly the same. Bedrooms are spaced towards that side of it, the end side of the development. You've got the bathroom in the middle with a nice skylight window. That's pretty much where we are.
No, it looks really nice. I like the fact that, in terms of stacking, you've kept it pretty similar. So you've got your utilities in the same space with the bathrooms. It means that, it's a lot more cost effective. But one thing I was wondering about this building is obviously you've gone for the timber construction. Yeah. It looks really nice inside. How are you going to match that on the outside?
Yeah, so with regards to the outside, we've chosen to go for aluminium windows. We're going to finish it in a PLX zinc with a standing seam. Seems to be a very popular finish and looks very, very smart.
It's nice. I've seen obviously you've got like similar buildings over there, but you're going to go for the one with the seam, so a bit more texture, a bit more aesthetically pleasing. No, I think We really want to come back. If you want to come back, make sure you let us know in the comment section, and we'll definitely come back and see this development when it's finished. Now, one thing we like to ask all our developers and our recording team, Southpoint Media, like to do is find out when you're going to finish this project.
We're hoping in the next 6 months. So hopefully, you know, I'd love to have you back.
We're filming right now. We're currently filming end of March. So we're going to say April, May, June, July, August, September.
End of September, hold me to it.
End of September. If we're not ready, you owe Southpoint Media and Nando's, because that's what we have to stand by.
Done deal.
So, Sonny, I appreciate you sharing me round. It's a really nice site.
Pleasure.
You're nice, clean. We love that as a developer, coming to see a clean site. But tell me and tell the people, what has been the most difficult part of this build for you?
So we've had a couple of challenges. The first one being, obviously, when we did the development for the 8 flats, ideally we should have done a little bit more underpinning to one side of the building. It would have avoided having to use some of the, maybe, you know, the bigger steels, the heavier steels that we have had to use on this development.
I've seen you got some big boys.
We've got some big boys out here, yeah. Essentially, we had to bridge the weight across both the party walls, which entailed the engineer giving us a specification of a lot bigger steel work or steel frame than would have been used had we underpinned the building. So I'd say that would be one of the main main things which we would have redone if we'd done it again.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely beautiful.
And despite that, I know that you're not really worried about that because I've seen your numbers, and this one is a great project. Now, I promise you, it wasn't clickbait at the beginning when we said how to get a flat for free. And based off your numbers, I'm going to show you exactly how that is the case with this project. So because this site was already owned and was an existing loft space or plant room, the acquisition cost is zero. The other great thing about this project is, although they already had 8 flats and they're building an extra 2 penthouses, because they were done in separate planning applications, there's no Section 106 agreement, no affordable housing, so that is also zero. Now, what unfortunately the guys at Imperial Construction couldn't miss out on was the construction costs and professional fees. So how much were those?
So we envisaged around £300,000, which entails the construction cost, professional fees, and the CIL.
Nice, and CIL is your
Community Infrastructure Levy.
Because property developers love an acronym. Now, the last thing we're going to speak about is where the money is, your GDV. What do you estimate your gross development value of this project to be?
So total GDV on this project would be between £750,000 and £800,000. That's a market value for both flats combined.
Fair enough. Now, I think that's a fair market value. So if they were to sell and they were to sell for that £800,000, that would be amazing. But you are not going to sell them. You are going to do the very popular BRRR model, which is the buy, refurbish, refinance and rent. So we spoke earlier and you said you're going to refinance at 75% loan to value.
That's right, yeah.
Which means after leaving in your 25% equity at 200,000, you're able to pull back out £600,000. So that's why if you look at the build cost and all the costs involved at 300,000, not only is it a free flat and 2 free flats, it's also flats that give back. You're going to have a further £300,000 of working capital to take towards your next project.
Absolutely, yeah. We think in this scenario it makes sense for us, have an income and also raise some capital to move on to the next development.
That's amazing. Well, we're looking forward to seeing not only this project finished in September, but also what you do with that capital for your next project. And if you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Also make sure that you speak to the guys at Imperial Construction, because as you know, they've promised when we come back in September, it's going to be a finished project. And before we spoke about heading over to Nando's, but because of where we are with Crept and Cones downstairs, I think it's only fair that if you're not ready, you treat myself and Southpoint Media to a full meal. Agreed?
I would love to. Agreed.